Grih Shobha, if I'm correct in recalling. That's a Hindi one. The way women Sela project a women, the way Grih Shobha project a women, there's a hell difference between the two things. Okay? One.
Next
Next,
one like?
huh? No, it's not the one what I like. As a media person, as an ordinary woman, I see the discrimination at the very face. Next, there is a Saras Sali. No, Sarita is a different. I think Sarita is a much more empowering because grew up reading that and it has a lot
It's a family man.
It's a family, it's a real family, it's a very, I feel it's don't talk about bullshit logic, it talks about the practical thing.
Right.
So I'm not over to debate it, but I'll say the way Saras Sari is being projected women, that's totally digression sometimes. I find it totally digression.
No, it is.
So it's a market. Now you will say
It's a
sell it to market.
It's a market.
It's a very clever thing you will say.
No, it's not a clever thing. You know, it's a market.
So don't blame journalists.
No, you're not blaming journalists. You know, it is. That's what I said. You know, journalism is like art. Now, if you want to portray women, I mean, portraying women either way is akin to portraying stock market scams either way. You know, there is somebody who's going to become rich, and there's somebody who's going to. If Rashad Mehta was portrayed before he hit the scam, he was the guy, right? And then after the scam, he was the fall guy. You know, so I mean, it's similar to that. So I mean that.
But I think honest newspapers should take. As she said, there was a huge demonstration against the newspaper. Sometime being into media, I feel there should be a huge demonstration against the, I mean, why always frame the mind in democracy?
Playboy is done by a woman. You know, I mean, it is Hoffner's daughter who runs that magazine. It is about every fabric of society that you have to portray in media. If you're going to say that means, I mean, if you were to go and there's this huge researchers, which are positioned, and we also get them, on red light areas. So you would want to say that nobody should go and research red light areas anymore?
No, that's not the point. The point is why a woman is always portrayed as a sex object.
No, she's not.
What is the
No,
sense of a woman sitting in a bikini on a tire?
No, that is not. She's not always portrayed as a sex object.
Why?
She's right in that way. She's right in that way. Because if you want to sell the blade, you require a woman.
That's right.
So that is for the companies to do that, to do that. But it's not for media. But that is for the advertisers. It's for the corporate thing.
Let me tell you one thing. The WEF organization is the one which never take the advertisement from any liquor company, if I'm correct.
We don't.
So it's not an easy thing to do. No, but from the very beginning, not to immediately, like I am reading.
Any paper you will buy it is legal. And if somebody is not,
I'm Rita Henley Johnson. I'm editor-in-chief of Women's E-News, which is for women. And I would like to say your statements ignore the vast reality of systematic, programmatic, legal, spiritual, and every other discrimination that women exist within the law, within their faith, within their homes. So while you were speaking, I was making a list. Honor killings, stoning deaths, homicide is the leading cause of death of pregnant women in the U.S., female genital mutilations, the denial of property rights, the denial of child custody and divorce, along with domestic violence, of course, longer prison terms for similar crimes, job discrimination, divorce laws, the treatment of widows, rape, incest, job discrimination, I guess I repeated, access to capital investment, exclusion in history, exclusion in art and other forms of culture, go to any museum, denial of promotions in universities, and I personally have focused on what I consider the ultimate gender of maternal deaths for avoidable causes. We're literally dying. And for somebody who is wealthy, powerful, journalist, and in this case male, but not only male, to deny that it's part of a system, a historic system, a global system, is shocking.
Thank you for that. I am coming from the perspective of actually being a media practitioner. I started off my career as a presenter, a news broadcaster, and I was quite young when I started. I started off, I think I was 17 or 18 years, and I come from Nigeria. My name is Muna Onozo, by the way, and I come from Nigeria, and in that part of the world, during my time, that was the early 80s, early 90s, 97, 98, you rarely find young women looking for work. We don't school and go to work. We either school or we hawk. You don't find 18 years old at work. And I recall one time that my editor came to me, my director actually, and pulled me off the television and put me in the newsroom. And the question was, why? Why did you yank me off? And they said, oh, that when you're reading the news, people are not listening to you, they're just looking at how pretty you look on TV. And I was affronted, because I said, if it were a man that is handsome and is on TV reading the news, you wouldn't pull him off. So why would you pull me off? And they kept me in the newsroom for about 6 months before my fans said, put her back on the TV. But for me, that gave me an idea of what the media actually is when it comes to women, and also the agenda setting aspect of the media. Now, I'm also the president of the Women in Film and Television in Nigeria. It's an international organization that is in 44 countries. And each time we're on the president's call, all we talk about is how many women got the Golden Globe, how many women were even nominated, what is the positioning of women, how has it increased, the statistics and all of that. And you'll be shocked to find out that it hasn't actually increased. It's only moving marginally and a little bit. It is very, what the points that she raised, it's very real. Currently, before I came out, a new radio station was set up in Nigeria, and it was set up by a woman. Why? Because most women businesses are not promoted. Second point, the adverts are so expensive that most women run these businesses, which are actually MSMEs, cannot even afford to pay the advert rates. You find that it's only male-dominated businesses that are on air. And so this radio station has been set up to actually give women a fighting chance to promote their businesses and all of that. And another thing that affects the media positioning of women, it's also culture. Now, when you look at history and how movies started, let's take America for instance. The black women, their portrayal in movies usually used to be the mommy, wearing very fat woman with the cap and all that. She's always the nanny or the house help, But today, thankfully, we have the Olivia Popes of this world who is giving women, giving women or empowering women and telling them, look, you can be a gladiator, you can be a strong woman, you can control a nation, even as a black woman, even as a young black woman. You don't have to think that you're not empowered or you don't have the strength. So everything is all about who controls the media. Look at BET, what it's doing. It's a woman's-owned television network, but it's doing so much to empower women and portray women positively in a great light. So as a media owner, you have the onus lies on you to have a balanced view of news coverage, because that's one thing that we struggle as journalists. I have a master's in media and communication, so I totally understand, that we control, they said who has the power of the pen controls a nation. And if you control that, you can, because it's a platform that has been given, every media owner to set the agenda and portray a balanced view of the world, especially of women. Women are doing so much, but they have so little coverage in the media. Even in the movies, if you come to my country, movies, mostly, you would not see a successful businesswoman in the Nollywood movies. You wouldn't, but there are many successful Nigerian women running businesses. But who controls Nollywood? Men. there are very few, if not maybe one or two female producers, and who in their own right are trying to portray this aspect of women. But unfortunately, you see the women either at their I hope you understand what juju is, that they have to go and do juju to catch a man. So does it mean that we can't find a man who will fall in love with us as we are without having to do medicine? But that is how the media is portraying the African woman, that you cannot be loved unless you try to, manipulate the process of love. And then they portray mother-in-laws as being witches, being very wicked. Meanwhile, you have very beautiful and adorable mother-in-laws who welcome their daughters-in-laws. And this paints a picture of society that is false. So that, for my own view, there has to be more women who will step up to control the media. That way we can have more balanced views. And I love what Michelle Obama has done. Really, we can come sleeveless to an international conference and speak. Before, you would be covered up wearing pearls and all of that, because that is the agenda that has been set, that if you want to be a leader, a woman leader, you have to wear pearls, and you cannot be seen wearing short sleeve dresses and looking tanned and toned and fit. So please, we have to be careful how we send that news out there. Thank you very much.
Does anybody else want to speak? Yes, okay, I'll get back to you in a minute. I just want to carry on with the Nollywood, because in America we got Hollywood, in India we got Bollywood, Bollywood, and in Nigeria we got Nollywood. And just like she said, when you watch that film, for me it's what the media portray women to be. Either you're a husband snatcher. Nobody portrays the man as going to break the marriage, to somebody's wife. No, it's the woman, and yet that happens. But it's the woman, and then again, is the woman that would have killed the husband. The man never kills the wife. Not even if the man dies naturally, is the woman in the media portray is the woman that just killed the husband. See, and that puts every woman in a very difficult position. And again, when it comes to ownership, a woman doesn't own anything, doesn't run any business, and that is where they're portrayed. Yet, there are a lot of women who are the ones bringing up their family, inclusive of the husband, looking after the family, inclusive of the husband, and the whole family from the husband. But as far as media is concerned, woman, you remain underneath your husband. You cannot do anything, and you've never achieved anything. And that is not very good for the children that we are bringing up, because it sends a different message to the young girls. And sometimes the girls are scary. What is it? What's the need of me having education? When after that,